here we come. There you are. Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm very good. I'm good. I'm knackered because just got back early this morning. Well, yesterday night from 50 dates with Mike and the mechanic. So
Oh, wow. So this is the last thing you want to do.
yeah, well, it's good. I mean, I got like a few days off, then I'm traveling out to Oz, and
Yeah,
uh, uh
I
should be
know.
should be great.
It's
Yeah.
what, in 10 days you'll be here.
Yeah. Is your last name really Roach?
Yes.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
As I was going to ask you, do you ever get Roachy or just Roachford?
In the mechanics, no one calls me. My first name is Andrew. Everyone calls me Roach or Roachy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, so we get the same name then.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, my brother.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Well, when I in Mike and Mechanics is Roach Rutherford and Roachford because Mike Rutherford is the main guy from Mechanics, and it's quite funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Good to be
how was
there.
the tour?
That tour was amazing. We started doing some dates in South Africa, then we came back to the UK, did the whole of the UK, and then went off to Europe and did like lots of Germany, Austria, and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
yeah, it was amazing. But by the end of it, everyone was getting a bit knackered because it's been going on for months, and yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of traveling. Traveling is what being on the stage is the good part as far as the energy. I mean, it takes energy, but the traveling and the drinking, that's what does it. That's what
yeah,
kills you.
yeah, that's right. So, so in Europe, is it the same? How like in Australia, you pretty much like one day to the next. Is it the same in Europe? Like you?
Yeah, what we tend to do, I tend to do 3 days on and then one day off. But
Okay.
the day off, normally there's a distance, so you're traveling for half the day or the day. So it's
Mm,
not really a day off because you're just on a tour bus, stuff, and so it's quite full on, And then the next day, another 3 gigs, and then keep moving. Yeah,
yeah. Well, you got
yeah.
the one. Yeah, coming up. So yeah, 16th you're in Perth,
Yeah.
17th in Adelaide, and then you got a few days off where you come to Melbourne, where I am.
Okay.
So it's good. You got that little break there, and then for Sydney 24th, and then Brisbane on the 25th. Now, I do believe I think Melbourne and Brisbane are sold out already.
Yes, they're sold out. They're definitely sold out. I think Sydney is too, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it?
Sydney is. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
so
really good.
yeah. So how cause so come on, you people in Perth, what's going on?
Yeah. It's funny. I had someone on last week. Can't remember who it was now, but they were saying the same thing. Like the Perth, the ticket sales were not as
Yeah,
good as the other cities.
yeah. Well, that happens, I mean, it's like even in the UK, I'll be sold everywhere, but there's always one town. It's normally in my case, it might be Newcastle for
Mm.
some reason. I just don't know why, but it's just that's what it is. Like since you started your career, it's
Yeah,
always been this one town that it just doesn't quite, and it's interesting.
yeah. Well, it's probably the
Yeah.
one town in Australia I haven't been to. I mean, 'cause it's so far away from
Okay.
us, Perth.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah,
told. I'm
yeah,
told.
it is.
Yeah. It's so far away, even my music didn't make it there.
Yeah, that's right. Like,
Now, but you're a
no,
musician, I can see that.
yeah, I'm a teach. That's my
Oh,
main job. I teach music.
oh, nice.
Teach
Nice.
guitar. Got my piano here.
Wow, look at
My
that.
kids. Yeah,
Little electronic kit. Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Good, good setup, mate.
Yeah, that's good. No, and that's over this wall. I got my Van Halen wall.
Wow, look at that. Rocking, rocking.
I love it. I love teaching. Love
Yeah,
playing different instruments. It's good.
yeah. I'd be a terrible teacher. Because I always use the same word. I go, well, you got to feel it. Feel. What do you feel? And some people are going to go, what, sorry, what chords are they? What's the note? No, don't worry. Just feel.
Yeah.
Feel. Trust the feeling.
So when you first started, did you just like teach yourself, or did you get into the theory?
I mean, I wanted to teach myself. I was 4 years old and I started because my family are generations deep in music,
Yeah.
and I just started. I think it might be 4 in the morning. Just started for some reason plonking on the piano. I'm going to teach myself, and it was such a bad sound that my mum got me a teacher. So then I started off classically trained in the first sort of, I guess, 8 years, um, doing that because my mum insisted that if I'm going to play, at least it be in tune or something. And but then I decided I wanted to improvise, and my teacher, who was an amazing classical pianist, she didn't even know what that was. You know what I mean? It was not even anywhere in her remit. Like she goes, "I can't help you there,"
Yeah.
and that's when I went, "Okay, something else is happening." And I've obviously got some ability that's not common, as in that whole thing about just be able to create and feel something and express it through notes, and you don't know how. You can't really teach that. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know how.
Yeah. That's exactly
And there
right.
we go. Mm.
Yeah. But I
You know,
mean,
you
you
can
did that
teach
one.
sort of little tricks about improvisation, but really, when it's about expressing what a real thought and a real emotion, that's just something you either have or you don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you write now, do you think like theory wise, or you just whatever feels best?
I try, I mean, because I have a classical background
Mm.
and my uncles taught me a little bit jazz here and there, I have theory there,
Yeah.
but I try to let it go sometimes because, you know, you hear some artists and they haven't got any idea what they're doing musically, and they do some interesting stuff. And of course, I'm happy that I know what I'm doing, and it does help in most cases. It's shortcuts and stuff, but sometimes I just want to go. I want to get out of that because it can make you kind of rigid. Like, oh
Yeah.
well, you can't do that because that's a major seven and that's a dominant seven. You can't put those two together.
Mm.
And even though it sounds good, you think, well, technically, it's not right. It's not right. You know, I once had the privilege of working with. Oh my God, I've just had a mental block now. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world.
Oh, Cat
That dude.
Stevens.
Yes, but he calls himself Yusef
Oh yeah, yeah.
Islam.
Yep.
He didn't answer to Cat Stevens, so that was and he I was doing some backing vocals for him, and he was layering these harmonies, and I was going, surely that harmony you're singing isn't going to work over this because it's all we're doing like dominant chords, and he's coming up with these weird notes, but then you should try it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how it worked, but it did.
Yeah. I think especially with vocals too. I mean, music. I find a lot of people I spoke to, do like you're saying, do have that theory there, but when the
Yes.
vocals come, the harmonies, it's just like you go into all these different intervals and things going.
Yeah.
You don't really think about it.
Yeah. One of my favorite singers is James Brown. And really, no matter what the song was, James Brown always sang these dominant seven scales, these blues, hard blues, and he would do any song, and Little Richard was the same, and you go, that's not going to work, and he would do it, and you go, yeah, that works. I don't know how, but it works. Lovely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I was in a James Brown tribute band about a year
Oh, okay.
or two
You know
ago.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. It's just so fun to play. Like for guitar, I was on guitar and I was doing keyboards as well. It was just so
Yeah.
fun. That's really good.
It's a good lesson in feel because you can't rely on tricks and going and moving around, and because it has to be disciplined in order for it to work. And like the guy that plays guitar for Mechanics, he really doesn't get it. He's because he always wants to. Well, I played that for like 20 seconds. I need to do something else. No, you don't. Just if it feels good,
Yeah,
you need sometimes it's like a mantra. You need to stay on it for it to work. If you keep moving every couple of bars, you're not really playing it.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
So yeah,
I
yeah.
must say it's a workout though. Playing the James Brown stuff that
Yes,
that
yeah,
all the
yeah. Tink, tink, tink,
yeah,
tink.
yeah, yeah. And just some of those
Yeah,
off beats he does. Like I think it's I was Funky Good Time. Funky Good
yeah,
Time. Dun, dun,
yeah. That's it. That tink, 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 tink.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see because there's a girl that, well, a person that I've been following who breaks down all of that stuff in
All
such
right.
an amazing way. Oh my God, I can't find her now, but because I can't remember her name. but it's incredible what because she's got it down to a fine science, man. It's
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's great stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
But
go.
I'm really looking forward to coming through because, I haven't played in Australia for so long. And my memories of playing in Australia are always good ones, the crowds go for it
Yep,
and that always gives the actual gig something extra.
yep.
And, Permanent Shade of Blue was really received well in Australia. And it's still one of those albums that I do play a lot of the songs in my live set. So that's cool because I think people will hear what they want to hear when they come over. And I'm a live artist. I do my best in the studio, but I'm naturally a live artist. You
Hmm.
know, I don't really like singing with over ear headphones and it makes me start thinking too much and so when people come to the gigs and even though they've heard my records, if they've never heard me really in front of them, they always go, wow, I didn't expect that. It's
Yeah,
always the same comment. I get it every gig.
really.
No, it's kind of bit tiresome, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. No, I'm
So
looking forward to it. Now, I noticed you got so it's called the Then and Now Greatest Hits Tour, and
yes.
and you got the album out now. Now, I noticed the hits you've actually remastered and changed a little bit as well.
Not just remastered, they were re-recorded. The
Oh,
band
really, really?
re-recorded from scratch. Yeah, yeah. We
Oh,
recorded
right.
them. We went in the studio one day and we sat down and we went, okay, which ones would we like to revisit? Which ones would I like to revisit? Because most of those songs were done quite a long time ago.
Yeah,
And as a human being, I've evolved. Forget music, just as a person. And I listened to some of those older recordings, and I can hear the old me and what I was thinking and what I was feeling, and just that alone, it was interesting to revisit.
mm,
I'm a very different singer because I didn't actually realize that until I started getting in the studio and listening to the old me. I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have done it like that. And yeah, but so it was great. It was interesting. But also, I wanted to include obviously the newer songs just so people make people aware, of course, that I'm still making new music. That's what it's about for me. If you're not making new music, to me, it's a little sad because you're just sort of doing the circuit, playing the same songs, and it can get a bit tedious, I guess, after a while. Even
yeah,
though I love performing the old songs. So yeah, so that's kind of what that album's about.
yeah.
And yeah.
Actually, I think I did notice was it Lay Your Love on Me? You recorded like a different ending, wasn't it? On that one?
Yeah, that's because some of those arrangements are from the live gig
Oh, right.
because it was my live band that we recorded it with.
Mm,
And we just play it like we play it live.
yeah,
I think sometimes people forget you've been touring for the last 30 years and they think that the songs are going to sound exactly like the record. And if you're an artistic, creative musician, surely things would have evolved a little bit somewhere along the line.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Happy accidents, you start playing, oh, that makes a great intro. And
Mm,
I don't like to be bound to it's got to be the same as a record. It's like,
yeah,
no, it doesn't. It's got to feel good. That's all,
yeah, that's
you
right.
know.
And I think that's good
So,
too for the audience. I mean, I know for me, I like to hear that, that little bit of change going on. Um,
yeah,
I mean, like a lot of people say, otherwise stay at home, listen to the records.
exactly. And there's nothing better than spontaneity at
Yeah,
a gig, room for spontaneity, because then people know that the gig they got that night was not identical to any other gig. It was a unique
yeah,
moment.
yeah,
Something happens in the moment. Just the energy of the audience is different. Something, and I like that rather than it being this programmed arrangement and it's just head down, see you at the end of the gig.
yeah, yeah.
I guess because my family are musicians and improvising
Mm,
is in my blood.
yeah,
So there we go. And you keep the integrity of the song.
yeah, yeah,
People still get the song that they love, and it's bits, but just little things that make you, oh wow, done something different there, and
yeah. No, that's
keeps
right.
it interesting for the band as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, keeps them on their toes.
Yes, keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
You know.
So
Yeah.
you're bringing over, so you got what, keyboardist, another keyboardist, including yourself?
No, I'm going to be playing all the keys
Oh, you're
by
playing all
myself. We
keyboards.
are
Okay.
using a little bit of technology. Uh, these days, it's okay to do that. You know,
Yep.
there's some amazing uh, stuff that you can do working with tracks, but with there's some movement in there.
Mm.
Just a little bit though, not too much. I mean, if the technology all failed, I mean, it'll still be the same. It's us, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a And I always say, Jimi Hendrix could do it with three people. Nirvana, three. How many do I need? And I love playing keys anyway.
yeah.
That's how I started out. I started out playing and singing, and then I got signed to Sony Music, and they were a bit. It was back in the day. It was before people like Alicia Keys came along and all that, where it was acceptable for a front person to be playing keys, and they were like, "Oh, you can't," and they really insisted that I took the keys and just stood there with a mic, and I think it wasn't cool because actually people didn't realize that I was a musician. They just thought I was manufactured artist that had songs written for him and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and really shocked to see that I could actually play when they go live, and they were like, he's actually a real musician. And I love people like Elton John. Like, well, it's okay for him to be on stage with a piano. It works. It can work.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
really
can
good.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you play other instruments as well? Do you play real guitar?
I busk on other instruments. I can busk on the guitar. I'm like
Yeah.
strumming chords. I'm not a lead player, but I know a couple of chords here and there. And sometimes I write on the guitar
Mm.
because again, it gets me out of that rigid thing that I do on the piano.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's more challenging to kind of go, oh, write a song on the guitar. I love rhythm, so a bit of drums, a bit of bass. Bass is sort of you play guitar. Um, I'll give it a go. I play spoons,
Yeah, why not?
bagpipe, no, bagpipe. Uh, but no string instruments, and I stay away from the brass and the woodwind because my uncle was so good at the saxophone
Yeah.
that I wouldn't go anywhere near.
I've actually just picked one up a few weeks ago. I'm going to start teaching myself
Wow,
the sax. But it's
wow,
so hard though, compared
wow.
to piano guitar. I find it really tricky.
Yes, yeah, it's a different sort of thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the keyboard player from Mike and the Mechanics, the other keyboard player, because I'm kind of play keys and sing in Mike and the Mechanics, but the other guy, he plays everything. He plays saxophone. Like the earlier tours, he was on the sax, he was guitar, bass, everything. It's mad.
Yeah, yeah. Now, going back, I know you spoke about it before when you very first got into it. I didn't realize when I was researching, there was one of the agents said to you something about not putting distorted guitar on some of your songs or something. Is that right?
Yeah, it's funny because I was at the airport yesterday and I kind of bumped into an artist called Her, and she's an R&B artist from America, but she's different because she has some of her songs have full-on rock guitar in it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at her. I didn't get to talk to her because she was kind of in a rush. Like, I'm one of the artists that helped pave the way, especially in America where it was just not on.
Yeah.
If you're a black artist, um, you had to be this, and that was it. End of, because record companies didn't know what to do with an artist like me, Lenny Kravitz, for example. They just didn't know, and but my songs came as they come, and I listened to the blues as a kid, which is unusual for my generation, but that's because I'm a musician. Musicians aren't just trend driven when it comes to music. We're note driven and feel and all that. So I just like, well, it's just a guitar, and it's got a bit of crispiness on it, and you're telling me that culturally that's shut me down, and now you have all these artists doing all kinds of stuff in their music, and
Yeah.
it's accepted. Uh, but I wanted to say to that girl, I said, there was a time when it wasn't, and we had to fight to to actually get heard because radio stations. I mean, I'm more mean America, but when I put my first record out in the UK, Cuddly Toy, the first time it got released, radio wouldn't go anywhere near it. And I heard from the guy, one of the guys that was a programmer at Radio One, and he said that they had the record on their desk and they heard it and they were like, "Oh, this is something else." And then one guy went, "Yeah, but he's black though," and they went, he's black. And it was like shock going through, and they just didn't know how to deal with it because
Really?
it was like, but it's like rock guitar. I was like, okay,
Wow.
that's how it is. And but no, you have to just when you're trying to be yourself, sometimes you have to sort of go through that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the music industry can make you sort of sound like everyone else,
Yep.
and that doesn't work for me, you
Mm,
know. Doesn't work for
that's
me.
good. I'm glad you stuck to your guns and did it.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the other one I didn't know about was Cuddly Toy. I heard that that wasn't supposed to be on the album. It just come later. Then you said you stopped press and put it on there.
That's very true. It's very true. They had to stop, literally stop press. We already had the artwork and everything
Wow.
without Cuddly Toy in the listing or anything. And on the 11th hour, I had this idea. I was listening to James Brown as well
Mm.
and Jimmy and stuff. And I was like, we need one more upbeat song for the live set. That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
And I literally wrote it for that. And lyrically, it was an in joke about the keyboard player and his incredibly bad chat up lines that always work somehow. And so it was an in thing with the band. And I presented it to the band. I went, here's a song. And they thought, wow, it's great, even though it's silly with the title and everything. And then we started rehearsing it. Uh, and it sounded huge, and we would start put it into the live set, and the record company were coming to the gigs, and then towards the end of the gig, we started playing it, and they're like, "What's that song?" Oh no, this is just a song for the live. Why didn't you record it? So well, it wasn't written when we were doing the album, and it's an in joke with the band, and they were like, the record company were like, "You got to put this on the record," and they talked me around, and then the guy from the record company said, "But you can't call it Cuddly Toy." He said that it will never be a hit with that name. It's ridiculous. And I was like, well, I wasn't that bothered whether it went on the album or not. So I was like, well, if you can't call it that, I'm not going to record it.
Uh,
So they had to sort of relent, and
wow,
the rest is history.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew that.
And it was huge. I mean, in the UK, it was just like
Yeah, yeah.
never not on the radio.
Mm.
And to the point where it got a bit annoying because it did overshadow some of the other really great album tracks. Because I was thought I was going to be I'm an album guy in my heart. But when Cuddly Toy came along, all of a sudden I was this big pop single sensation. And it was great for me because obviously it put me on the map in a big way, and it was a minor hit in America too. But it also gave people the wrong impression about who I was as an artist. So it took me a while to sort of then go, actually, I'm a serious musician and a proper artist. I'm not just again a pop guy, you know. I mean, I love pop music and I do pop, but it was like there's a depth to it, you know.
Mm.
I love Prince and I love all these people, and I have those elements in what I do, you know. So.
Yeah, yeah. That's unreal. And I see you like Stevie Wonder as well. He's one of my favorite singers.
Stevie Wonder is like, you know, there's people that I love, artists that I love, and then there's Stevie who's almost on another planet, you know. He's not in the human race sort of music. He's on his own planet, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just, even now, I go and listen to him, but even now, I listen to something and it just go, how? What, you know, what was he tapped into? How did that stuff come through him? Because it's just otherworldly for sure, you know. And I don't think everyone realizes that. There's not people, even my partner, she's like, well, yeah, whatever. But you shouldn't realize that it's not just, oh, he's a great musician. He's like something else, and he's tapped into something a lot deeper than that. And just all this love and love energy that pours out of him, out of one human being is incredible.
Yeah, yeah,
Incredible.
yeah. No, I love listening to his stuff. And just the way I mean, you could just picture him like, the way he sings, nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard him sing a bad note.
No. No, if you get any recording, uh, and it's just always amazing, always amazing. Every live recording is always an education
Yep,
for no vocalist like me. And yeah, and yeah, and what can I say about Stevie? It hasn't been said anyway.
that's right. So would he be probably one of your main influences, you think?
And not just the fact he's a great singer, he's an amazing musician, plays everything, and some of his songs are so complicated, but they sound so simple, and anyone could sing along. But as a musician, you try and play that,
Yeah.
or then you realize the complexity of it, and that's proper genius. Genius is when you can make something complex seem like simple ABC.
Mm.
But I love loads of people, of course, all the Motown era and that sound, the Marvin Gaye's, the Jacksons, of course, excuse me, and the old guys, like Ray Charles and Sam Cooke. I mean, my birthday is 22nd of January, and I was so chuffed when I was a kid to find out Sam Cooke's birthday was the same day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 22nd of Jan, Al Green. But Sam Cooke is, again, another otherworldly type singer for me because there's something a bit, a bit out there in what he does, and it's effortless.
Yep.
But, it's serious, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's your plan after this Australian tour? Do you get to have a break, or are you pretty much back into market mechanics?
Yeah, I might, I might check into sort of somewhere and convalesce for a couple of weeks. I mean, this year's is and the next couple of years are quite busy for me. There will be the odd summer festival when I get back because they start kicking in, and I'll be doing a few of those. And then later in the year, then I take a quick break, and then later in the year, I'm going out to do quite an extensive tour, opening for Level 42.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those guys, I met them over the years, Mark King, and they're beautiful people, and they love what I do, and asked me if I would go out opening for them, and I was like, hell yeah,
Oh, that'd be great.
and their audience is obviously going to be ears open, so it's going to be great.
Yeah, oh, fantastic. Well, definitely I'll see you in Melbourne. Now, I know you've got those, 5 days off. Are you spending the time in Adelaide, or are you coming down to Melbourne?
We got to work that out. We're still working that out because I mean, my guitarist wants to do some writing sessions as well,
Oh,
and we're
right.
trying to work out where to be and how to get that together. Because it won't. We don't want to have. We got that time, and we were trying to maybe put in other gigs and stuff, but that hasn't quite worked out. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if you ever need, my wife's from Thailand. We've got some really nice Thai restaurants around in the city, so I can guarantee
Okay.
some really nice ones if you like Thai food.
Well, like my friend over there, Jimmy Barnes.
Yeah, yeah.
His wife. She's just the most amazing cook, and she cooks authentic, Thai and stuff. And man, it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
He's a lucky man.
That's true.
His son, Jackie, will be playing drums for me on this tour.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. Jackie Barnes will be playing drums, and I'm sure Jimmy will get up and we'll do a couple of things together in
Oh,
Sydney.
wow. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. Really nice meeting you. Yeah, hopefully I'll definitely see you down in Melbourne anyway.
Yeah, no, it's great chatting. I mean, I actually went longer than I've got another interview now,
Yeah,
but
I know.
as
Sorry,
soon
I
as
didn't realize
the
the time.
guitars,
Sorry
when I
about
saw the guitars, I was like, I'm at home here.
that.
Take care, man.
Yep. I'll see you real soon. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, man.